I don't really know where to start. So I grew up in a close-knit community where everyone pretty much took care of everyone. Dia exemplified that. Not only did he show his compassion and caring through his smile, he was someone that cared through his actions. Dia was the type of person that made a stranger feel like family. I remember one time when we were both passing out supplies and food to the homeless community members at a local shelter, and he was talking and joking with them as if they were already friends. The smile on his face, on their faces, you could tell that he was someone that truly cared for his fellow human. He was someone that when he saw something wrong, he would do something about it, not just stay on the sidelines. We spend a lot of time learning the science behind helping and healing people, but sometimes our actions, our smiles are what's needed, not just our knowledge. As future physicians, we have to realize that we will be important figures in our community, and as such, we should foster a community of compassion and caring, just like Dia.
When they first asked me to speak for this, I didn't want to. I didn't know how to start or how I could describe Dia, Yusur, and Nizan in one short speech. But they deserved more than that. They deserved for everyone to know who they really were and the legacy that our three winners left behind. Yusur is someone that you could become friends with easily. She draws you in with her smile and easy, carefree personality. She had a very calming presence and a great sense of humor, and this laugh that makes everyone around her happy. I always knew of Yusur and her family growing up. In North Carolina, our community is really close, and everyone knows of everyone. But I got to know Yusur really well in undergrad. Yusur and I quickly developed a friendship that revolved around sarcasm and fun. She was the type of person that if she got a hold of your phone, you would end up with a bunch of random selfies of her face. She was always quick to tease me about anything and everything, but just as quick to send me words of support and encouragement whenever anything big happened in my life. I remember the day I found out that I was coming to Ross, Yusur sent me a long text message. She told me that she was smiling really big right now, and that she can't imagine anyone who deserved it more. She would always check up on me and tell me in her words to keep on trucking. Like many of us, Yusur was unsure about her future. She always knew she wanted to help people, help the community, but not sure how exactly. Freshman year, Yusur believed she wanted to do medical school. In sophomore year, she was leaning towards research. Towards the end of sophomore year, she finally found her passion in dentistry. She was so dedicated to dentistry that in the summer of 2014, she along with her mom raised money and collected dental supplies to donate it to a Syrian refugee camp in Kilis, Turkey. And she was actually just accepted into UNC Dental School and was set to start in the August of this year. So this was Yusur. She was kind, loving, funny and caring. She was a best friend, a sister, a daughter, and a wife. She was a future dentist. I attended Yusur and Dia's wedding over winter break about a month ago. It was the wedding everyone was waiting for. Two extremely loved families within our community were coming together. Yusur and Dia couldn't stop smiling and staring at each other. The love they had for each other was evident to anyone who saw them together. I believe that if anything good came of this, it is that neither one has to suffer the loss of the other. I wish I could say I was as close to Razan as I was to Yusur, but I wasn't fortunate enough to get to know her as well. But what I do know is that Razan and Yusur weren't just sisters, they were best friends. They were always quick to recognize the other on their achievements and extremely proud of each other's accomplishments. The day before I came to Ross for my first semester, our NC State MSA held a picnic gathering. It was there we all found out that Razan got off the wait list and was accepted into a competitive design and architecture program at NC State. She was extremely humble, and when I congratulated her, she told me this is nothing compared to what you're doing. But in fact, it was. She frequently used her artistic abilities to fundraise for various programs and was involved in the planning and design of many platforms for different projects within our community. Razan was sweet, she was kind and gentle, and extremely creative, and Dayat would often call Razan the best third wheeler ever. I just wanted everyone to know that Dayat, Yusur, and Razan were an example of what we all should aim to be. As future physicians, we should lead by their example. They made it a point in their everyday lives to always be kind, to help their neighbors, to help their communities. The fact that just within a few hours of their death that everyone around the world knew who they were and the work that they did is a testament to their character. And we all should strive to be like Dia, Yusor, and Razan.
All right, so in 2012, I had the chance of knowing Dia after we took a class together, and the class was organic chemistry. And each time before the exam, we would stay up all night trying to study because he was a very hard-working person, and it was through staying up all night that I really got to know him on a personal level. And he always smiled. He had a warm heart. He was really down to earth, and he was always fun to be around. And the day that I actually heard this message, I had just gone here to study, and one of my friends, who is a grad student back at home, sent me a text message, and it was a link to the page with the news. And after I read that message, I basically could not do anything that whole day. And I went back home, and after I went home, I couldn't take it, and I came back to campus, and I was like basically down the whole day. And it just really saddens me that, you know, the world has lost such a great person, and the world couldn't really see the products that that was in Dia, that was going to come into fruition. And even though we came from a different faith background, he took me in as a brother. We became more than friends. And each time after an exam, he would encourage me that you know, the exam grade is not it, and there's more to a grade than there's more to life than just a grade. And he was such a great person and such a great inspiration in my life. And before I conclude, I just want to say that, you know, Dia, if you are up there in the sky watching us, I just would like to say that, you know, I hope his spirit is in a good place, and that, you know, his soul may rest in perfect peace.
Okay, so everything they said was true, and I hope this doesn't take too much of your time. But I was like Sarah, I don't like to speak at stuff like this just because I get emotional. But yeah, so I'll just start. So yesterday I wasn't sure of what memories, laughs, or reflections I should share with you guys, or if I would even be able to. I felt that sharing Dia, Yusur, and Razan's legacy through the pictures and stories already circulating the news would be enough for me. I mean, it is enough. Just looking at these pictures and hearing of their achievements makes you want to be a person who strives to do good for the world. So I figured that was enough of an impact that I wanted to make. However, I got lectured over a FaceTime call yesterday morning. My brother was the one to remind me of my passion to spread awareness, my deep love for the community at State, the fact that I cried the day I graduated because of how much I would miss that place, that family, and that atmosphere. And lastly, the fact that these three were ideal examples of what I miss so much. So why wouldn't I share? Dia 23, Yusur 21, and Razan 19 were three bright students whose lives revolved around their family, education, and service to others. Dia, a second-year dental student, aspired to go to Turkey this summer in order to help Syrian refugees. Yusur had recently been accepted to the UNC School of Dentistry. Along with her community service, she strives to spread unity. And Razan with her love for art and design was a symbolism of hope for humanity. The reason I repeat these things that you may have heard time and time again is because there's some who still don't know. And if you don't, I urge you to go read about the legacy they left behind. So, I've gotten from people that I smile a lot, or that I'm always really happy, and even the fact that I get a little too excited when I wave at people. I used to respond with, I guess it's because I'm from North Carolina, as if being from the South was a good excuse for my, quote, quirky personality. After recent events and hours of sitting in my room, reflecting on what still feels like a nightmare, I've realized that the real reason behind who I am. It was Dia, it was Yusur, and it was Razan. It was Dia's smile and his excited, "Hey Zainabs," that made it okay to be myself. It was his warmth that he spread that made people feel comfortable in their own shoes. It was his selfless attitude that made those around him feel that they always had someone to lean on. It was people like these three that made up my home for 4 years, the community at NC State. Though I didn't have the pleasure of truly getting to know Razan well, I can only imagine she was as beautiful inside and out as her sister Yusur. I recall seeing Yusur's simplicity, her contagious smile, and her friendly nature around campus every day. To be honest, she was 2 years younger than I, but I couldn't help but have a little girl crush on her. She was perfect, and the fact that her and Dia had started talking during my time there was the most exciting thing for me. I mean, dang, they's a cute couple, don't you agree? Of the three of them, I was closest to Dia. We started state the same year. He studied for his DAT the same summer I started studying for my MCAT, and eventually we both graduated in 2013. So here's a little story for you. My first actual encounter with Dia. It was my freshman year of undergrad, a time when I had not found my place yet. I had met amazing people within the first week who were starting to feel like family, but I still was a little shaky with my ever so little confidence. I recall some jokes being thrown around at a birthday, and being the sensitive person I was back then, and maybe even now, I found myself leaving a little early. Though I had no idea anyone would realize, I get a message from Dia a few minutes later. "Salam Zainab, I never knew you were conscious of your voice. I actually think it's the cutest thing in the world. I had no idea that you felt that way. If I hurt you, I'm so deeply sorry. I truly am. I just took it as a laugh and didn't intend any harm. You're so innocent and I am guilty. I really don't know what else to say. I hope you truly forgive me, and I'm truly sorry. I feel like crap right now. I truly am sorry. Is there anything I can say or do to make it up to you? Salam, Dia B." The funny thing about this message was that Dia wasn't even the reason behind my emotions. And if he was, why did he care so much about this new girl? Why did he feel the need to endlessly apologize for something he didn't do? It was because of his beautiful heart, because of his kindness, because he cared so much for anyone and everyone in his proximity, and that made him the person people admired, the person I admired. This is just one of the infinite amount of examples that portrayed his loving personality, and though I can't get his lively self out of my head, I can't get his "hey Ziggies" outside of my head. I wish I could share more, and I wish I could explain the ways of these three and the home I once belonged to in a way that would paint the perfect picture for you, but I can't. I can't because they're gone, and if only they were here, you would see. So today, it hurts and it aches to think about the way they were taken from us. We've lost the warmth, and we've lost these smiles. I ask you all to pray for their families and friends, because though it's been a few days since the incident took place, waking up still feels like a nightmare to them. I ask that you pray for them, but also for the shooter. Pray for the shooter's family and for those around the world who live every day with this type of hate in their hearts. Pray that God melts their hearts with our smiles, that he softens their souls with our kindness, because it isn't okay. Brutality and animosity towards one another, it's just not okay. And as Ferris, Dia's older brother, has said, don't fight fire with fire. A fire that burns one home doesn't need to burn down another. Be the soothing, cooling water that can put it out once and for all. And lastly, my message to all of you here at Ross is to make the impact they made on us. As future physicians, we're the leaders of tomorrow. And as the leaders of tomorrow, it's us that'll be leaving the mark on this world. So walk with kindness, speak with warmth, and act with grace. Unite and create unity. The kind of unity these unfortunate events have brought upon the community back home. Be the people who can eliminate ignorance and hate from the world. Be Dia, be Yusr, and be Razan.
I would like to end by saying, on behalf of all of us here, thank you for coming here tonight and sharing this moment with us and hearing what we had to say about these three special people, Dia, Yusr, and Razan. Our goal here was to spread awareness as to what happened and to honor their lives and legacy. We hope to shed light on the type of people they were to others and the impact that this event has had on the community and hopefully now the world. We hope to have achieved that goal tonight. Thank you for your attention. Please join us as we observe a moment of silence to honor the lives of these three special people, Dia, Yusr, Razan.